I talk a lot about building a real company that can run itself, that doesn't require your daily involvement. I really do believe that that's the ultimate goal of business. You want to build this asset that can generate wealth for you, and it sort of becomes an investment in the sense that you don't have to actively participate every day to make this thing run and operate. So the goal for many is I need to get a president or a CEO or someone to run this company. And I'd offer up an alternative thought, and that is what you really need is you need a COO. You could be CEO or president, they're almost interchangeable terms in most cases, but you could be the CEO and still create a pretty exciting, amazing lifestyle and still generate a lot of wealth and not completely relinquish all of your duties within the company. The number one position, the most important position that you need in your company so that you have some time and freedom and you can get away is a COO. So it's a chief operating officer. This is the individual that essentially runs operations. Now, when you're smaller, your operations manager generally isn't the same person that can grow into becoming your COO. COO is typically a term you'd use for a bigger organization. So your operations manager, when you're doing 500,000 or a million, probably isn't going to be the COO of the company when you're doing 10 million, unless that individual is really learning and studying and growing as an individual. A lot of times you're going to have to replace that individual and bring in someone that has some experience in that area. And the COO is going to run operations. They're going to do a lot of hiring and they're going to do a lot of firing. They're going to make sure the processes and procedures are in place. They make the engine of the company run. Whereas the CEO, which might be you, is more the strategy, the strategic thinking, the big ideas, the moving the company forward, leading, recruiting. And a lot of those roles, they can take 60, 70, 80 hours a week, but most of the time they don't really. And what I mean by that is if you have a great COO operations manager, you as CEO could really get away from your company for 3 weeks. You could get away from your company for 4 weeks and the company will still keep turning and running. And so I created the video because it's very easy to think I've got to hire a president, CEO to run my company. Until I get to that point, I won't have built a real company. And that's not necessarily the case. What I'm suggesting is that what you really want to focus on is operations and then hiring a COO type person to run the operations of the company. You don't have to completely walk away from this thing to be a great company that can sort of run itself to be a real company. Rather, you could put yourself in a position where all you do is the core CEO type activities of strategy and some money and key hires and things of that sort. And when that's all you have to do within your business, now you have a lot of time to do other things. You have a lot of time to go on trips, a lot of time to be involved in your family's life, or to start another business, or to do something else. Now you're not consumed by the daily grind of everything that goes into building and running a company. So think in terms of COO versus CEO.